Second match on our angle, opening up our set of 3 with the GT20 Pro.
Get that GT20 Pro. Does anything need to be said? Do we need to say more? It's the GT20 Pro.
You get 3 air angles, and you get 3 phones. Everything that's good comes in 3s.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 20 is probably a multiple of 3. If you're good at math or bad at math, whichever one. You're doing the math.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. Well, there you go. Like I said, it's not a multiple of 3.
13's quite unlucky. It's
exactly.
Not that number.
That's why it's not 13. That's why it's not 13.
20's where it's at, man. 100%. We're in the 2020s right now, where the greatest of action is popping off here in PUBG Mobile. And we're heading into our first angle of the day, as Jason has stated, because he's a smart man and he can see the screen.
Jason Status, they call him.
He gives us the statuses.
Oh, yeah.
The status update.
He's always there, on time, on schedule, dropping bars about statuses.
Yeah. He's an updater.
He is.
An innovator.
He's never on the down low.
No.
Always keeping it fresh with that funky flow.
Circle on that top side of the map here. Brute Force, again, another good position. So Brute Force has been given a couple of opportunities here, we'll say.
Yeah.
Opportunities on the map.
They've been presented.
Presented to them. And honestly, 4th place, feel like they can bump those numbers up. Right, okay, 52 points. It's not super safe right now. You want an 80, like IWNRX. They've really they're in the mood. As the boys on the desk are saying, for IWNRX, they just played that during group stage, which is fair enough. I mean, you nail it in the finals, in your region, you get the second chance. And this is what it's all about. You know, if you don't have the greatest of starts, at least you can bump things back up again when you get through to the survival stage. Yes, there's going to be less teams, but if you know you're a strong squad and you can just outplay the rest, I think IWNRX, they stick out a little bit in this lobby, I would say.
At this point,
it feels like they don't belong here.
I would argue that they might as well just rebrand to IWNL. I will never lose. Yeah. That's what they do. They never lose right now.
Right
Apart
now?
From, you know,
right now.
that one. But we don't talk about that one.
We don't talk about that.
Exactly.
Yeah. They didn't technically lose. They just
didn't
carried
win.
on. Yeah, they didn't win. Yeah.
And that's fine.
That's fine. As long as they don't go out during the survival stage, technically, the acronym still very relevant.
At this point, they've still never lost.
Yeah.
You know?
You are right.
Exactly.
You won the money.
No, it's fine. I know. I'm just, you know, I'm there. I'm dialed in.
Oh, you're trying to be like Jason right now.
No, I know. I'm just trying to copy him.
Trying to copy him.
I know. I'm sorry.
Stop that.
I wish I could be Jason
I
Kaplan.
clocked on a little bit too late.
You tried it. I'll take off the Jason suit. I'm sorry. Put it back in the box.
Yeah, let me just reduce my size from 7'2" to a classic.
I'll take my platforms off. Yeah, back to 6.
Yeah, a lot of teams here already situated themselves on the map. Team Spirit down towards farm. Honestly, it's not about. I actually like the split that Team Spirit take. But they are surrounded by a lot of teams who currently are just playing so much better. I mean, Twisted Minds have really turned something on during the survival stage. Ratto Boy making some interesting plays. A lot of that high ground abuse going on from this team. And they seem to be good at it. Seem to be very, very good at it.
It makes sense that Ratto Boy likes the cheese, and it's been paying off. Like, they've been really good at plays.
The best plays.
Yeah.
The best of plays.
They are.
Yeah. It's good to see.
Stilton.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're Stilton on a lot of these other teams in the lobby. And I think that it's fair enough because when you get to a stage like this where you really have to bring out all the underhanded tactics to get your way through.
Especially if they want to Bree in the top 4.
Yeah, exactly. Right now they are in the top 4.
Any other cheeses?
It looks like they're not falling further behind.
Oh, okay. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad.
Look at.
We can workshop it. We'll bring it back later. Everyone will forget. We'll workshop it.
Let's take a look at Paul Allen's cheese.
Oh. Well, we'll put the cheese away. Put that back in the fridge.
Yeah, for now. For now.
Don't want it to get warm.
A little bit dusty. Not nice. We're going to dust off some of these positions on the map, though, real quick, because there is some interesting developments happening. We are having a big glut of teams towards the center of the map here around Rozhok. Mad Bull's typical position, they play in North Rozhok. It's a nice spot. You get some good sightlines over towards the northern side of the map, so you can check out those rotations. as they occur on the other side of the river. So I do like this position. I think the unfortunate thing about that spot is you have so many teams around you.
Talking of people surrounding someone, that's unlucky for Morales. Man's out on his lonesome.
Yeah.
This is off the back of obviously just taking a chicken dinner in the last game for Harami, bro. You've run into Spirit, and you've lost the man immediately. He's completely gone.
I think the frustrating thing for me right now is Naomi is such a... All of these players are so good.
Right.
All of these players are individually awesome. And as a team, they were awesome as well. Like, they were very, very team-orientated. There seems to just be some really sloppy plays coming out from this squad. It's frustrating to watch, really. And I think that we do have a lot of Team Spirit fans in the chat, usually for these events. And I apologize to every one of you guys, because I think both me, you, and Jackie all expected more from this squad, and they have not been delivering. As Kitsune said, they would have to have a blinder of a day to even think about getting in. Inco called their gameplay shameful. And I think that shameful maybe is a strong word in this situation. You are playing against some of the best teams in the world. You've got all the way to survival stage. I think that that is still pat on the back for yourselves.
Yeah, but you can see obviously how much it means to Inco with them being a little bit critical of themselves and wanting to present more, not only for them, but for the fans at home as well. And we know they've got some of the talent there, like we've seen it, right?
It's good caring.
Yeah, exactly. It's not as if they were completely down on themselves. It seemed more like they wanted to light a bit of a fire under the bellies, get themselves back in. It's a fine line sometimes, though, of keeping yourself sort of in that flow state and hyped up versus overcritical.
Rather than just, giving yourself some twists on the wrists when you get home to the hotel. I need to do better.
I must play better.
No, it's just a case of do some VOD review, figure it out, talk to your coach, figure out what's gone wrong, come back in. This is the difficulty with survival stage. It's just 2 days, so you don't really have that midway point where you can look back and have a really good discussion of what's happened. It is just a case of we fix mistakes on day 1, and if it doesn't work in day 2, we're done. Someone coming in the door.
I thought so. I thought someone was coming in. It's just how intense the action is. But
hello?
No, I think we're fine.
Hello?
Safe for now. Well, there is a bit of rumbling going on.
Oh, is there?
We'll let that occur. But yeah, man, it's really interesting. I think, especially as well for me coming into today, it must be hard for some of these teams to sort of prioritize either unpacking the bag and thinking about how do we reset for day 2 a survival stage, or how do you just keep yourself just drilling on, keep it going, not get over critical of anything and just focus on the individual, that gut feeling. Because sometimes you can plan for something, but the games themselves go a whole different way, and it's just about relying on your mechanics and your decision making in those moments. We've seen some teams are really shining today, and yesterday as well, IWNRX, with the way they're communicating. Even CAG Osaka, the way they were coming inside of fights was so clean to watch.
Totally different from the group stage. And I think that if you look back on yesterday, there were some games that really went awry, in terms of the positions on the map you had to play. A lot of it was pretty unplanned approaches to those games where we haven't seen matches end in those positions before for quite some time. So it's difficult. Circle does move up towards the northern side of the map, towards shooting range. Brute Force about to be getting hit with a brunt of squads who are all moving over towards that north side and have to hold them back at the barricade, because this is going to get a little bit tight towards the northern edge inside the forest that surrounds shooting range and this little overlook they're currently playing.
Hello, Rook. They always seem to find themselves in some sort of trouble. It's Inco that find the bonnet action to shut that man down.
Yeah, Rook's just been moved from place to place and hasn't really found a decent home. But again, I think for Rook, this is an unfortunate rotation. The fact that Inco is still chilling around here and the circle is so far over towards that northwest side. I would imagine this is a planned move, a planned play from Inco, waiting for a team to move through. Moneymakers, IWNRX, tough fight for them, considering this team is on point, on form.
Oh yeah, they are. And they could add even more points to that big old bag of points they've already found. Icy Boss takes a heavy hit and he's down. The rest of the squad, they kind of scurry out of there, looking to get themselves into whatever covers around. It's not much that they can work with. Bit of a rock blocking the bullets. If they can get the off angle on him, that's an isolated fight. Could be another freebie. Koa and Co backed off massively as well. Cheeky peek up on the top of the rock. Does at least get the initial damage off. Koa's coming for the recovery. We're going to see if he can pick up his boy.
Has to be quick with though. I think he understands this team is just not missing shots. An instant reposition as well from Kane.
Get the high ground. Oh, the timing on it, just for the peek down.
Bad.
Barrage of bullets starts to connect. The Moneymaker having their cash flow cut off as damage is done from the elevated peak. They thought they had the getaway, but not today.
Bishke might have to double back here, pick up Koa, but he's got the vehicle, and I think Bishke just has to move on with his life. That was a great reposition by WNRX, and I think that's the cool thing that we see from this team. As soon as they sense weakness or blood in the water, it's a case of it's all go. You know, the key is turned on the ignition, and they're over. So they finish fights very quickly because they immediately know when the tide's shifted in their favor, and it's a very, very smart thing. It's a difficult thing to do during these fights.
They seize the initiative whenever there is an opportunity that's presented for them. And there's respect in that alone with how they play it. Oh, huge backstab. This is the off angle they were trying to find for so long. Making focus on the majority of the squads. The Frozen can find the backstab. Yeah, it just splits up, confirms that one. Makes it look easy.
Yeah, it's very nice. And again, just the confidence to be like, I can make a solo play here. I understand that I've got him. The rest of my squad is already locking him in position. We are going to get our next circle, though. You can see it on the top right of your screen here as we head into our latter portion of the match, northeast shift. And you know what? Brute Force might have a decent spot to play around with this position. Falcons coming in from the northwest, though. We've seen Brute Force and Falcons clash a couple of times.
The Falcons want to get a bit of momentum going, climb up. They need to keep this going over the course of the whole day. Obviously, we still got a fair few games to get through, so don't overlook them. They're in a good spot in terms of the standings. They've had some nice fights. Felt like a lot of teams have wanted to scrap against them, though, of course, trying to deny that growth in points and make it harder. One team that has also been swelling and finally had the bubble burst in the previous fight was Tongjiabao, and they're going to dive in on Brute Force. Bit of a head-to-head clash between these two sides.
And you've got that rotate that can come through from Falcons if this fight extends on for quite some time. Right now, Brute Force trying to send some grenades over the top, but decent burst on the nade there over towards Prepod. We'll send him back slightly. So that's one of their frontline members. That was a much-needed tag over towards Flower to keep the team of Tongjiabao at bay because they are gnawing at the bit right now to get over towards Brute Force. They retreat, head into the buildings, and get into cover.
Brute Force looking to keep some distance then. Not be overly exposed on the push that was thrust towards them from Tongjiabao. An abundance of nades thrown out, just trying to create a bit of space. You get the POV of the Mad Bulls as well. How their setup's going. Not in a bad position whatsoever. Meanwhile, this is what Inco are up to. Coming close towards the defiant team of CAG Osaka. That are still in a second place right now. Not that far away from Twisted Minds, closing the gap on them potentially. If they keep playing like they have been.
Right now we've got about 8 teams still outside the circle, so although it looks kind of honky-dory for a lot of squads that are inside the circle towards the center, I think the positions are going to start taking up quite quickly in this circle. So a lot of these spots start to get fairly crowded. Elbow to elbow action, Kine move through in the vehicle, take some shots over towards the squad's rotating through. Just confidence plays with Brute Force, sensed that, saw the plays coming through, good shots, but look at that, Frozen instantly on the swivel. We'll find a player from Brute Force, Neos goes down. You got to remember that Tongjiabao was close by and they might capitalize on that.
Frozen like an owl with an AR. His head's turning and he's burning with a rifle. Meanwhile, the other animal on IWNRX is Zedwolf. Hang on a minute. Falcons find another opportunity. You got Icy close by the tree line as well. Getting a bit of a read on this one. This was a 3-player fight. 3 squads, rather, that were sort of thrust into a bit of combat between one another. And everyone's trying to see when the opportunity is to go in, steal away those points, see if you can make the most out of what is coming. Quite an uncomfortable bit of territory here.
And for IWNRX to sort of just got that Chad-like swagger into the circle. They're shouldering people out the way. And it's working out for them. Circle does move further over towards that eastern side, giving Inco the opportunity of a lifetime here. Look at this chase down, man. The sprays are so accurate on target. Switch the seats, potentially take some shots back, but Pandem is being run down.
It's the drive-by. And Swain is saying goodbye to the man. that is in front of him in the back of the vehicle, drops the first, looks to put pressure on the player that tucks in towards the tree line as well. And they just bullied them.
These guys are mobile at the moment. From place to place, moneymakers up against Besiktas. This could be a big name from Bishkay. Out the window it goes! A double knock. He's low, but the other player from Besiktas is not regrouping on that. He has to hit the DPS. We'll find it. And luckily, these players might be able to get back up their feet, but they're surrounded by so many squads in this area. Looks like they are getting flushed out.
Panic stations. The difference a millisecond of reaction time could have made as well on the close quarters engagement with the shotty. But that's all ifs and buts. It's in the past. We'll focus on the present, and that's the amount of damage that's being done onto Harami, bro. Rook. It looked like, again, they were going to have a rough start to a game where they go down early, get fragmented, have to fight on the back foot, but they bide their time, side strike, deal some heavy blows back onto Harami, bro, and it's only one man left. DRX also moving in over the hill. That's Mad Bull spotted. Tulika isolated in the fight. Man could pull off the clutch. They jump straight back in the car and dip out.
At this point in the game, there's so many angles to work off the back of here, Jackie. It's so uncomfortable to play. Mad Bulls can't quite find themselves an area that they can call home for the time being. This is the team that came from North Rozhok, so they haven't had a long way to go whatsoever. In comes Yumbin.
Zerich unloading from a distance. The Mad Bulls, they really have to step up to the plate here. The amount of nades that are barely missing them. Shrapnel, sand, dirt being kicked up in their faces, and they're just looking to defend. Fleeke trying to play with the timing on the nade. Swings it wide. Bit of splash damage back onto him, but they're being pelted, aggressed upon by DRX. So if they could clean up here, man, it could be huge.
It's like battleships right now. They're just testing out for the positions on the map. Where can they hit these nades? And it looks like Yumbin's found a location, a mark to work with, and not too much damage is coming back across to DRX. So their battleships are firmly floating in the water, whilst it feels like Mad Bulls slowly start to sink here.
Oh, they could be sinking, but maybe there's a chance for a recovery. The strong sailors of Mad Bulls, can they pick the pace back up? Find damage to establish control in this firefight that's been going on here. The battle over the base. Who's going to be Lord of the Land when it comes to the end of this one? Nice nade. Fleeke replying. A three-pointer that gives them confidence back in the fight. He's looking to get the angle on it. Shrouded behind the smoke, though. There's the peek up. Takes a couple of shots. Few bullets whizzing on by.
Blue moving in here. They are firmly in the waters of the storm right now. Soes tries to move up, but hunkered and bunkered down. Mad Bulls hold DRX out with just a smoke between them. Manage to keep this one alive for the Mad Bulls. Circle moves north. They've got further to swim here. Difficult position to play. Right now, Inco, like I said, opportunity of a lifetime. A salesman come by the door, gave them this position on the northeast side, and they're going to try and work with it.
It's prime real estate for them. But can they maintain it? Can they hold on to it? Accumulate wealth on their investment? Or will it be the other teams nipping at their heels, starting to snatch that land back off them? IWNRX still with 4 players alive. Fair few squads here taking some hits. Seiji Osaka trying to get the res back up so they can stay as a 4-man squad. They'll at least be able to squeak their way through that one with 4 still alive, but it could get uncomfortable the longer it continues. You got the compound set up as well from Brute Force. That's just the trio, but it could still be a very lethal set of teammates there.
You've only lost Neos there, and he got caught off by an unfortunate position. Coming through from the Falcons, Twisted Minds though, take down Zerich. Nicely done. In comes Brute Force. Looking for some more here. Falcons though, don't want to let this one go in the favor of the team trying to push in. They've got 2 teams to worry about here, Jackie, and just 1 player to rely on. Icy.
Oh, I see. This is going to be your hardest task yet, and they tried to use the elements against it, turn up the heat and make him feel uncomfortable with the Molotov. Throwing in those wide nades, the reposition barely over the top. That one wasn't cooked long enough to blow him out of commission, so they closed the distance on the Falcons and shut them down.
Not even sure. I thought I saw Freezer in the elimination feed there, but IWNRX, what a game this has been from them. So incredibly aggressive, moving from post to post here. Setting up a line of operations. And they've got all the executive decisions going on inside this map. Everyone else just bending to the will of the Wildcats.
but they do not want to stop either. They get that spot down onto Rook. Barely a thin shroud of smoke cast out from Vic to back up his two teammates that are further away behind the tree. But they still find opportunities to punish, and you get the backline stab in from Inco. The Lions that have been waiting to pounce, but look what's happening here. That's exactly what's going to occur. Spirit, slide in, try to bring the hammer down. Panicking on contact, Effect gets hit. Nomi replies. You got the distance firefight from Kitsune as well as Inco bail.
Inco crumbled under the weight of Team Spirit there, and they don't lose a player. Nunes might be coming back in for a little bit more as they go for these reses. They have suffered. Two players coming back in for a bit more of a regroup. It does look like with the amount of angles on the side, they're going to have to just dip on out of here. Inco, with that opportunity, snatched away by the thieves from Team Spirit.
They get in, snatch away the elims and make out like bandits. But Inco, they're just thrown into another team. From pillar to post, a rock and a hard place, rifles facing down at them. Tongji Bao finally start to step up to the plate as well, getting one knock across onto IWNRX. They've still got ammo. They've got rough positions to work with. They try and build themselves some geometry with the smokes and block off the line of sight that exposed the Spirit.
Team Spirit crushed in by the circle here. Vitali, last one alive, might go for a backstab with a PPP zone. But honestly, for Team Spirit, a lot of teams towards the top side have already been knocked out. A 20-point game here might set themselves up for something later on. It is a wild chance in hell, but it might be available. D plus Kia, similarly, removing the members from CAG, Osaka.
Another fight that's broken out. Control of the compound, relying on one man to make hero plays with the shotty. But there's no chance to deliver that lethal package as he's gone down. The postman removed and the team out of luck.
CA to the GG for Osaka there, as D plus Kia will take them out of commission. Flower, the rest of Tongji Bao fighting for their lives in 8th place. 4 elims now for Nomi and Team Spirit. Only bringing back some of that caliber we saw from him in the past. Takes down another in Zedwolf, and he's got eyes on.
You don't know me, now you do. Ooh, strikes from the side.
Shots, bro.
Unloads onto them. Pinpoint precision. Team Spirit saying that they wanted to bring themselves back alive today. 5 elims attempting to go toe-to-toe with any team that steps in front of them. Even with the big dogs in the lobby that are racking up points non-stop, they win out versus IWNRX. We thin the herd some more. Our squad's starting to drip down now.
The drip goes through. Teams are going to be lapping up those points at the same time. Tongji Bao retreat. Scared by the onslaught coming through from Team Spirit.
Twisted Minds. They've had a quiet game, but they've still found opportunities for elims. Taking smart fights and keeping their distance. It's D plus Kia that are ahead of them.
I mean, Twisted Minds right now, they're just consistently in this top 5 every single game. Scary prospect for teams trying to move up. 5 eliminations right now, pretty decent. Bounce on the nade, won't go too far. D plus Kia with 4. Some fearsome teams still in this lobby. Twisted Minds, D plus Kia, Tongji Bao. And it feels like yesterday on a repeat with Twisted Minds, TJB, and Team Spirit.
They really stepped up in the latter portions of the first day of survival. And now we're starting to step up the pace. The roam in, the aggressive crash down onto Twisted Minds. D plus Kia, can you make this play count? The first connection comes out from Rattleboy, but there's an instantaneous trade back. They're going to be able to get that one off. There's nades primed over the window. He might just run in, a little bit of splash damage on the side. They're thinking if they want to go for the res on Osale, but the nades make it awkward. They take the peek again. Obscure, prime time nade. Hits that one in, and he's not content with a single pickup. He wants to wipe them away like a spilt drink, and D plus Kia down and out to Twisted Minds.
Tough position, space taken away from them instantly. In comes Tongji Bao trying to capitalize off the back of this one, but Team Spirit got all of the circle on that north side. But they cannot afford to have a low elim game. This has to be a banger of a match for them. Although they might be feeling scared from yesterday after that game where they thought they could win, but they just couldn't go toe-to-toe with Twisted Minds.
Tongji Abao know this. They realize they've only got the 2 Elim points to play off in this current matchup, so they got to think more about the longevity, the bigger picture. The devil is always in the details, and that's what they're going to be aiming for. A bit of a lull in the battlefield. What remains of Harami Bro trapped dead center amongst all of these squads that are playing with passion.
Looking to secure their positions. 3 stories on the go at the same time. Twisted Minds maintaining their position in that top 4 right now. TJB looking to leap up into it. And Team Spirit, they're playing for a hope in hell. This morning, Kitsune was saying, we need something big, and we hope we could show it. And this might just be the beginnings of that greatness, of a comeback. It just seems so unlikely. Kitsune drops wide, spots players rotating in, gets a bit of a tag on, but we'll back off. What's this? Masters found one from Twisted Mind. An opportunity presents itself.
Oh, saved again by the backline of Obscure. But this is what we're waiting for. TJB sees that opportunity. They see the moment to go in for the side sweep. It fragments the setup from Twisted Minds. Obscure's down all the way towards the backline. Spirit, barrage bullets. Unleash the Hellfire. Trapped on the players towards the middle. Some big damage coming through. Softening up everyone that's stuck there. There's a reply back onto Tongji Abao. Good connection on the first. Looking for the distance shot as well. Nomi still putting bullets into Twisted Minds.
Effect from the side here, getting a lot done. Both teams absolutely battered and beaten. Can Team Spirit pick up the eliminations they need here though? This should be a free game.
If they can keep this rolling, keep it ticking on over, Team Spirit could finally get their hands on a chicken dinner and put the bad times behind them.
So important. Guizhou will find himself only from TJB. 2 teams remain, and Team Spirit, they have the lion's share of the circle. They need even more. Naomi, the nades are on point. This is more what we were expecting from this player. One of the best naders in the game. But again, Guizhou, out of nowhere, in the smoke like a phantom, finds the pickup, and there's no answer.
Naomi is no more. Man down for Spirit. Twisted Minds, they know how to play from the back foot, swinging with the full weight on every punch that comes out from Guizhou. He's got so much to do on this one, and you're penned in the middle. 2 lethal squads either side. Nice. The nade stripping his HP away.
Second won't do it in effect. He's out of nades, he's out of util. 1 stun grenade in the back pocket, gotta make it work. Playing hidden. Nomi, 5 elims on this match. 4 potential more for them.
Hot shots here and there. Little peaks, no overcommit. Don't give away that edge. Don't make the first mistake. Either squad waiting for the go signal to swoop in and commit off the back of a nice opening engagement, making most of the limited utility that's left.
GK first, Flower. Nomi on a wide rotate on that northern side. Looks like he might have been spotted though. He curtails back to the rest of his team. As we hit a bit of a lull in the moment, the action. Molotov sent through, preventing Team Spirit from walking too far forward. Kitsune gets hit by that, but a nice nade. He moves forward through the fire. We'll take a tickle from it.
That's the man that could have made issues. Guizhou lurking in the middle. If he got some important shots off, he could have thrown this game in either direction. But now we're just down to the last 2 squads. Tongji Abao versus Team Spirit. Tongji Abao looking to guarantee this one and keep on climbing up. For Team Spirit, it could be the start of something new. They'd have to have a hell of a day ahead of them in the last day of survival stage, but it could all start here. A lot to play for in this one. You can see that with how confident they're being in not overextending, playing the long con, smoke walls up. Give yourself a shroud. Nomi went for that initial split from the team, trying to play on the off angle. They mirror matched it. Both of them recoil. Slight split now.
They don't want to over-egg the pudding on this one because they need this to be sweet, sweet victory. 9 elims feels good, but they need the 12 elims and the win to have a shot. That would be a comfortable position. Stun grenade out. Over towards Flower, being pushed in by the blue. Out comes the shot. There's the first one to TJB.
Spirit opening it up. They get the initial engagement they were waiting for. That first strike shut down the flower, leave him pushing up daisies. Start to set yourself for the summertime to shine versus Tongji Bao, but they want you to go down heavy. The punishing plays come out. They start to push the initiative. Bullet after bullet rattling into effect. He's panicking behind the tree. He's trying to make the plays. They close the gap, find the pickup. Tongji Bao with the win.
An unbelievable play from Tongji Bao. One knock into another.